Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and at long last, we are here. We are here, the HBO original series adaptation of The Last of Us. We're finally here after months, and after years, like since it was announced to be in production. I think most, if not all, people were 100% on board and waiting, and then casting was announced, and we were even more on board, and then filming started, and we were even more on board, and since then it's just been like a build up of actually waiting to see what the final product is, and episode one of the final product is here. So episode one. So I think luckily and thankfully this will be like an actual week by week release and everything, which I think in the past couple of years I've actually grown to enjoy a bit more and everything, like being able to ride that kind of hype train every week and being able to speculate and actually enjoy that kind of mystery and everything. So thank God for the week by week release and everything. And of course it's HBO. It's HBO, so that they only really do week by weeks anyway. So The Last of Us. I did say I would do a stream of part one of the PS5 remake before this came out, and well, I think it's safe to say that that's yet to happen, but it is still coming. It is still happening. I am still going to play it, and I'm still going to stream it on the channel in due time. But now I think now I'm kind of like I was kind of curious on the one hand, like if I should do it if I should do it in tandem with the series too. Actually, like maybe do like once a week stream the game alongside the show's release itself. But now I feel like, you know what, maybe I should just wait until wait and see what happens. Maybe like depending on what each episode is like, and what the week to week status is kind of like. Maybe I will do it that way. Maybe I'll wait until after the series has finished airing and then do it that way or something. So I don't know, because think if the TV show's airing, then I kind of want to focus my attention on that instead of actually trying to kind of consume two different versions of it and trying to balance between that as well. So I think my memory of the game so far is strong enough for me to actually kind of make comparisons and make kind of different kind of parallels and stuff in my mind and everything. But for the most part, I do kind of still want to focus on the show as it is and focus on whatever the showrunners themselves have created and what they've worked on, and see how the adaptation itself kind of stands on its own, even in tandem and in connection with the game. So also it's also very early because I think this dropped like this drops like 9 p.m. in America. Which is about 3 a.m. over here. So I went to sleep early and I woke up early, so that way I'd actually be kind of running on like an actual appropriate amount of sleep. So I managed to wake up early because I think I actually want to actually do the reaction for this before I have to leave for work and everything. So that way I can at least kind of do the review once I come back, and then have this up kind of as soon as possible throughout the week. So very excited to be able to fit this in my week to week schedule. So this should be fun. This intro episode alone is actually going to be quite long, I think, too. I think this comes in around like an hour 20 as well. I think the first few episodes are actually going to like fairly kind of feature lengthy kind of episodes too. This was also going to be like 10 episodes too, but then I think the final two episodes they're actually kind of decided to push the last two episodes together. So instead it's going to be like a 9 episode season and stuff. So whether that means that the ninth episode is going to be longer or something, like if it's going to be like a full kind of 2 hours, like the Stranger Things finale or something, I don't know. But either way, I think they've made the decisions they have, and as of right now, I have nothing but trust in them and faith in them to pull off something incredible. So there is that. I think the trailers themselves have actually shown nothing but promise and nothing but goodwill and strength in pulling off like a great story as well as a great adaptation. So I can't wait to see what they've come up with. So it's going to be fun. I think the budget alone, I think I read recently the budget alone, like they've spent more on like a single on individual episodes of this than they did like for entire seasons of Game of Thrones. So without a doubt, I think this for multiple reasons, is arguably going to be like one of HBO's kind of biggest hitting kind of shows ever and everything. So I'm kind of nervous to actually see how intense and how impactful this might be, but at the same time I'm excited to take it in nonetheless and see what they've got in store. So, yeah, I kind of just want to get this reaction kind of done before I have to leave and everything. So I won't be dragging this intro out for too long. But yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're all here as well. Whoever's here on the channel, kind of watching and being a part of this reaction too. I'm glad you're all here, and I'm glad to be here, finally reacting to this and finally being able to watch this and everything. So, yeah, for now, that is pretty much it. I think I just want to reinstate my faith in the cast too, in Pedro Pascal as Joel Miller, and Bella Ramsey as Ellie Williams, and Gabriel Luna as Tommy. I think this being the intro too, I think I'm all the more kind of curious to actually see like how much of like the intro of the game it might adapt to, like if we might jump into the future and jump into Ellie's kind of story straight away, or if we might actually kind of leave that or something for a little bit towards the end or something. So I don't know exactly how far they might go in that aspect, but it will be cool to see. So yeah, I think for now that is pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head. So The Last of Us, Season 1, Episode 1, let's go. Oh, John Hannah, he's in this.
And
in the 60s.
Also an epidemiologist, I presume the...
So they were worried about this stuff back in the 60s? Really?
And currently there are no reasons for fungi to evolve to be able to withstand higher temperatures. But what if that were to change? What if the world were to get slightly warmer? Well,
already getting strong Dr. Radcliffe vibes from him in this, yeah.
Mutates poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one
I love how they were
goal,
just
to spread the infection
blank-faced
to every last human alive.
So if that happens...
we lose.
Farewell, cruel world. Oh, they got it. Oh, they got an intro. And the music. Oh, this is good. This is good. They got the intro. They got the music and everything. Gustavo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gustavo. Thank you so much. I love these visuals too, though, yeah. Like the actual fungi growing over everything, yeah. Seems somewhat kind of Game of Thronesy too, like an actual zoom-in analysis of this world, yeah. Oh, that's Joel and Ellie right at the end, that's Joel and Ellie. Oh. Give it to me, give it to me, I'm ready, I've waited. Give it to me, I'm ready. Sarah? Sarah? Can we get her for a bit longer this time, please? Can we actually have her around and live and well for a bit longer? Ah, Joel. Hello. Hello there. Ah, yet another single father that Pedro is going to masterfully play.
Show.
Calcium.
Love it. Still alive, you old fucker.
He loves you.
He's dependent on me. Not the same.
I think it's the same.
It's definitely the same. I was having pancakes.
Oh, he sounds just like him too. He sounds just like Tommy.
I'll bring back a cake. I promise.
We're not going to get that cake, are we? We're not going to get that cake. I'm calling it right now.
I'm still eating my eggshells.
You got 7 minutes.
Your t-shirt's inside out.
The watch. Oh, the watch she bought him. Oh.
We got a lot of extra here. Y'all want some biscuits?
Biscuits or American biscuits? Aren't they like scones or scones or something? Like they call biscuits very different things. Oh no, people are already coughing now. It's over. It's over. It's done. People are already infected. Too late. Is she gonna buy a different watch? I thought she already had the watch. It didn't look broken. Or oh, I think maybe it might be broken that way. Maybe it's not running properly, so maybe she needs to repair that.
It's a spring. I'll do it right now.
Okay, that's what's wrong. But I mean, it's gonna break even worse later on anyway. So just, you know, on the eve of apocalypse, I think this is like is this a good bargain? Is this a good, you know, way or reason to spend your money?
We're done for today.
Yeah, they're leaving. They're leaving. Yeah, she's already heard.
Okay? You should go home.
Yeah, no, well, word's already spreading. Word is spreading just like the fungi. So just like one extra day, like 12 extra hours of backstory. Oh, Mercy, oh, the dog, oh, the dog, oh, the dog.
On
I was thinking we'd make some cookies.
Chocolate chip?
Raisin.
Is she gonna be like some kind of soothsayer? Is she gonna like foresee or foretell of the outbreak or something? Is she gonna start prophesizing it or something? I feel like that would be really creepy but appropriate. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, is she infected? Is she Cordyceps positive or something? Is she Cordyceps positive? Sarah, honey, get out of there. She's Cordyceps positive. She's positive for
Hey,
Cordyceps.
Mrs. Adler?
Oh no, the dog knows. The dog knows. Marcy knows. Marcy knows. No, Marcy knows what's up. She can tell it's coming. Because I think the animals can always tell. The animals can always tell.
Where's the cake?
Oh, and he forgot the cake.
Come on, man.
I'll do this one tomorrow.
In a perfect world, we'd get that cake. We'd get that damn cake. But this is anything but.
Did you? I don't hear anything.
That was lame. Literally.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you get the money for this?
Drugs. I still have to.
It's better when I do. Don't fall asleep.
Of course I won't. It's too riveting.
5 minutes later, she's passed out. Yeah. No, 2003 still has a Nokia. That makes sense. That makes sense. 2003. Yeah. Gonna take some time to actually set that in. Oh yeah, the explosions. I love those in the game. The actual distant explosions from the city. Yeah, I love those. Like distant explosion shots. I always love them. They're so ominous. Oh, the dog. Oh, Marcy.
Easy, Mercy.
Oh, Mercy. I've been calling her Marcy the entire time. Mercy. Okay, let the dog live in this adaptation, please. Let the dog at least live in this version. Oh, blood. Oh, there's blood. A nice slick trail of blood. Oh, Mr. Adler. Oh shit, he's got a good chunk out of him. Oh, that is one demonic ass-eating position. That is one demonic position. It's got a mouthful of hair. That is hair, right? Or tendrils. That's got to be hair. Sarah, run, Sarah, run, run, just run. Just run, leg it, So they're locked and loaded, they're already ready for this. They're already ready. Ugh, just knock her out. I'm pretty sure the Adlers were in the game too, but they're only mentioned by name. We never actually saw them. I think the Adlers were actually mentioned in the game. Fuck. Everyone's dying. Yeah.
The Adlers would take Nana into the city.
We're fine, trust me.
But I think, to be fair, I think this is pretty different from The Walking Dead, where it's like you can only get infected if you're bitten by them. Whereas in the Walking Dead, the infection is default.
What are you doing? Got a kid, Joe. So do we. Keep
Yeah.
Put you in the bag.
Helicopter or like an Air Force plane? Oh no, that's an actual airline plane. Oh gosh. More. Oh my gosh. Some like airline planes too, like actual infected passengers. That would be fucking terrifying. That would be terrifying.
All right, keep going.
I love this POV shot. Oh, I love this POV shot from in the car, man. Plane. Forward. Oh, jeez. Oh, shrapnel from the plane as well. I think her leg's broken, isn't it? Her leg's broken, I think. Oh, gosh.
Head of the river, I'll find a way.
You can just go around. Can you not just go around the car? Is it? Oh no, I think it's blocking off the other side of the elevator. Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Don't look anywhere else.
Well, I'm about ready to go through this again. It's been a long time since I've actually seen it in the game, but am I ready to go through this again? Am I ready for this? Am I really ready? Oh, so many infected. Oh no. But fucking meerkats as soon as they hear a gunshot. Oh no. Oh, oof. Damn. They're like the ones from World War Z. Yeah, like the super jumpers and the athletic ones, yeah.
Don't move.
Oh no!
My daughter's hurt. Her ankle.
Stop right there.
Oh no!
Okay.
Please, I'm not ready for this.
I got 2 civilians by the river. Yes, sir.
No. No, no, please, no.
We are not sick.
Please stop.
Oh, Tommy.
Look. I know, baby. I know. All right. Come on, baby. You're okay. I know, baby. I know, baby. I know. Tommy, help me!
Joe.
Come on, baby girl. I gotta get you up. Come on, get up. Come on, baby girl. Come on.
Tough. Boston. Damn. Oh, they've got like a wall as well. They've got like a wall around, I think, what might be like a now populated leftover city. Yeah. Yeah. I am actually looking forward to the actual set design of the post-apocalyptic kind of world now. Yeah. Full infection. 15 minutes, 8 hours, 24 hours. Yeah. Within 24 hours, you're done for. Oh, it's the infection detector. Negative. Is the red good or bad? I think red feels bad, but it can also be mean negative, you know? Oh no. Is that the kid they found? Is that the kid they just brought in or something? So they burned the bodies of the infected then. Yeah, it seems like a pretty surefire way of actually disposing of them and ensuring decomposition.
Tomorrow we got street sweeping or sewer maintenance.
Which pays more?
That'd be the one with the shit.
Of course, yeah. Anyone willing to wade through shit would get paid more, yeah. Is this the execution? Oh, an execution. Alleged Fireflies execution? Because the intro in the game had that, the execution of alleged Fireflies. 5. Drugs? Because I think he was generally just like a smuggler in the game. So.
Hydro.
Bullets and pills.
The more you shoot people, the harder it is to sleep, I guess.
Oh, you guess?
He's selling drugs to soldiers then.
Fucking Fireflies been blowing shit up all week. Boss has got us working doubles. Guys are jumpy and tired. It's easy to make a mistake in the dark.
A shoot to kill order. Where's Tess? I want to see Tess. I want to see my girl Tess. I want to see her.
What do you want me to say, Tess?
I'm not asking you to say anything.
Where is she? Where is she? Where is she?
Ripping you off.
Tess! Hey! Oof.
How about we just let it go?
Oh, she's been through some shit. Nothing compared to what's coming out, but still. Oh, yeah, yet another thing I'm not ready for. Brilliant.
So when he sees you, I mean, put yourself in my shoes.
Like he answers to me.
Joel.
I'll tell him that I got jumped. So are we good?
Whoa! Fireflies? Oh, Jesus. Oh, the guys are dead. The guys are dead. Oh, shh. Fireflies.
Count slowly and clearly from 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slowly.
1.
5 years later, 2.
8. Fuck.
Oh, she is our Ellie. She is definitely our Ellie. Yeah.
Veronica. Same as yesterday. For me.
Oh, is she online? Is she?
FEDRA, you hear
Is
me?
it her cover,
Let me out or you're
Veronica?
gonna pay, motherfuckers!
Drugs for him too? Oh, he's the smoker. He's the smoker. Is it weed? I feel like weed would be on high demand in times like this.
Joel, it's in Wyoming.
Jackson, isn't it?
this
Jackson.
open country? You're a capable guy.
Is he really gonna make the trip to Wyoming? And even he's taking the drugs. Yeah. Tess.
I got jumped.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Just a couple teenagers said some shit. Probably shouldn't have. But I would very much like for you to hurt him. So let's go hunt that motherfucker down.
Are the Fireflies beating FEDRA anywhere? Rebellion takes time. You fight for 20 years and you get nowhere, you're not a rebellion. Spray paint. We're taking that random girl locked in that room west.
Yeah. To the lab.
From our guy in the radio tower in Salem.
You're feeling lost.
Tell me to look for the light and I'll break your jaw.
Oh, I fucking love Joe. I love him. Oh, her switchblade.
Where are you gonna go? Back to FEDRA military school?
They put me there when I was a baby. It's for orphans.
They didn't put you there. I did. Ellie.
So did she not know her name was Ellie until now?
Terrorist.
Terrorist? Was Riley a terrorist? What I'm about to tell you cannot be repeated to anyone. Because if you do...
Is it that she's immune? Oh! Oh!
Oh, shit.
Oh, tendril. Oh, is that that's a clicker, isn't it? Isn't that a clicker?
Yeah.
I think the face is mostly still there, but then there's still the...
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Probably in the 80s, everyone was cutting down on apartment sizes to sell more condos.
Construction corner, Joel Miller.
How far up we going?
Infected. That's got to be an infected. Yeah, that's an infected. Marlene? Oh, this is where Ellie is. Was he trying to sell it to Marlene? Because they need to get out of the city, so was he selling it to Marlene then? Oh! Oh, Ellie! Oh. Ellie beat Joel. Joel beat Ellie.
Joel?
What an introduction. Oh, God.
We don't smuggle people. Sorry.
I can do it. Kim, you don't have a fucking ear on your fucking head, could you please?
Oh, her ear's missing. I didn't even notice that until now. She literally doesn't have an ear.
I know.
Asshole.
Before we hand her over, they give us everything that we want. If not, we kill her there and then.
Deal.
Really? That fast?
You are all that matters. The team will not jeopardize it.
Start of a very new, very long, very emotional journey for everyone involved. Oh, wet sneakers, not the most comfortable thing in the world. Bill and Frank's.
60s song, they don't have anything new. 70s, they got new stuff.
Uh-huh.
What's 80s?
Killing time.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I'm sure you'll figure that out.
I'm gonna love these two. I'm gonna love them.
So what's the deal with you anyway? You some kind of bigwig's daughter or something?
Something like that.
What was the song?
I kept saying like wake me up before you go.
Is that nothing?
Gotcha.
80s means trouble.
Code broken.
Ah, she's trying to figure out what the actual song, what the thing is. Yeah.
Spot on, the Lancaster looks good.
And
You got
smoke.
a jacket in your pack?
I think this is like the most intense thing that Ellie's been up against. Yeah, like she's been indoors and inside walls her entire life.
What the hell?
Oh shit. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Damn. For someone who's pissing, he has a hell of a lot of awareness.
You gotta be shitting me.
Oh, it's him!
Okay, let's talk.
The guy he sold drugs to.
Yeah.
We'll split the cards with you.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
I'm so blessed. Hands on your head, eyes forward.
Oh, they're gonna scan.
Hands on your head.
Yeah, Ellie's gonna show up as infected. But she knows she's immune now. She knows she has a bite, but she's also immune.
Out of your fucking mind.
Oh, right in the dick? Really? Oh no, just I think in the leg.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, he's been here before. Oh no. No. Ugh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, he's going to town on him. Oh gosh. Oh boy.
This is 3 weeks old. Nobody lasts more than a day. Just look at the old to you.
He killed a guard for a girl who's infected. Never Let Me Down by Depeche Mode. I need to figure out what year that's from, so I know the code. I don't know what year that's from. I've never listened to Depeche Mode. Oh god, this would be such a... Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh. Well done. Well done to everyone who worked on this. Absolutely well done. What a stellar opening. An absolutely stellar opening. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm ready to finally do this review. So a little heads up, it might still be all over the place. It might still be like a little bit all over the place, and because I've actually had like several kind of hours to think about it, and I think I've actually thought about the episode more in that time. I've actually kind of, you know, it's not like hot off the wheels kind of review or anything like that. So I think I might have more to say. I might kind of actually, you know, not be able to articulate my thoughts as much, but you know what, I'm gonna do my best, so just bear with me, and we'll see what comes out of it. But I definitely do have a lot that I want to talk about. So I think right from the get-go, I think the opening alone, I think one thing that really kind of intrigued me was the opening scene of the kind of I think it was like a talk show, or like some kind of like a news interview thing that aired from the 60s, like from 1968. It said of like two presumably like doctors or scientists talking about fungi and about viruses and pandemics and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah, and of course we had John Hannah. John Hannah was in there too. I think I think people will recognize him from different places. I think, you know, Mummy fans will recognize him from there. You know, me being both, I think as a Mummy fan and also an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan too. Dr. Holden Radcliffe and everything. He was there, so he the one who engineered Ada and then further engineered the framework and everything. So explaining all the different types of fungi, Cordyceps being one of them, and talking about how it can kind of start from nature, and even animals have far more experienced infection from fungi than humans do, because animals are more susceptible to it and everything, so they fall victim to it more often. But then, you know, like given chance and given extreme circumstance too. And I think it's the real case behind the Cordyceps fungi in real life too. Like it would be possible for the events in The Last of Us and the infection from The Last of Us to actually become real, but then it would take extreme circumstances to actually make that happen. So I think like on the one hand it's scary because that kind of thing is possible, but then you you kind of rest easier knowing that like at least in our lifetime it probably won't happen, and then it's because of that. So someone did mention like food crops and stuff. I think don't know if that's in specific relation to the story for this, or if it's actually just like in general where that's where it can come from. But I think in this one they kind of live near kind of like farm kind of like areas and everything. So it coming from food crops and getting anywhere else wouldn't really be the most impossible thing. But I think having that opening scene from the newsroom and everything, I think actually did definitely kind of add like a layer of kind of depth to it that I feel like that I don't think the games are kind of missing, because I think either way, the way the story goes is that humanity just isn't ready for like an attack like this from the Cordyceps fungus, and it's just not ready. It's not ready to actually deal with an onslaught of infected people, and the world will collapse. And having the kind of added layer of like there being scientists with awareness of it, and then those scientists actually making the general public aware of it too, kind of does add like a depth to it that that basically says like, you know, oh, this is something that is very, very possible. So it's like, you know, there's no real hint as to whether any of them really kind of prepared for it or not. Because then they even actually talked about it in like an actual pandemic kind of sense too. Like if this happens, the infection will spread. It will kill people. It will change people. It will essentially just change the way humanity looks forever and everything, even the way that the world looks and everything. So this is something that would be disastrous for all of mankind if we ever reach that stage and everything. But then them kind of being aware of that stage and actually being aware of such a possibility happening, no matter how extreme, does kind of, I think, speak volumes, like, for the way that, like, stuff still actually rolled out, went down too. But I think maybe, like for it being in the 60s too, like, I think way back then, like for decades around that time period too, I think, even if something like that did come up in the news, then you'd probably have people still calling it, like, fake news or a hoax, or maybe people using it to spread conspiracy theories about something else, and then that then ends up kind of delegitimizing it. So then that's and it leaves, like, some people maybe feeling afraid and other people feeling skeptical, or like leaving them in disbelief, and then fast forward to 2003, and then stuff like this actually happens, but then maybe the people who knew about it are gone, or maybe people who don't really believe it enough, or maybe still don't understand it enough to actually do it. But then, of course, it's also like the way that the infection could start, and how fast it spreads too. Not everyone's really kind of prepared to deal with that kind of thing, and also the rarity of it too. Like people kind of won't really kind of probably won't have that kind of counter knowledge to go on the fly or anything. So for me, it definitely added a kind of layer of depth to it that I found, like, made it so much more intense and scary and dramatic, and just made it so much more real and everything too. You know, so I think actually including that opening in this too, actually did, like, help to do like a bit more kind of world building and a bit more kind of timeline kind of construction for this interpretation of the story anyway. So it was really well done. Because I know Craig Mazin, I think his name is, I think one of the producers on this, he actually worked on Chernobyl, and for one thing, I've heard nothing but intense and great things about Chernobyl. The fact that it's like a really, like, as accurate as it can be of a retelling of the events of Chernobyl, but then, like, in terms of actually dealing with the science and the horror and the actual threat of that kind of event, and the still kind of ongoing kind of threat that it presents today, I think I think it's been said to heavily focus on that stuff. So I think with this one, what I love about, like, I think even not having watched Chernobyl yet, I do still get those kind of vibes. Whereas, like, with this one, on the one hand, it's them going the extra mile to kind of, like, to welcome in people who haven't played the games, and people who aren't familiar with the game story, and people who aren't familiar with the story, and with the more kind of scientific kind of cornerstones of the story itself. So with this one, it's actually kind of introducing them, starting off with what's made the world so dangerous, like, what exactly are the characters running from, or what are the characters so afraid of, like, what is the character's kind of worst enemy and worst fear, among other things, of course, and everything. So I think I think again, of all the things, like, based on all the things I've heard about Chernobyl too, I think it definitely feels like that same showrunner is actually taking the necessary steps to kind of explain in easy enough to understand terms exactly what the danger is and what stuff is right from the get-go, but then actually doing it to actually welcome in people, and to, be it people who haven't yet played the games, or even people who have no interest in playing the games, but then are interested in, like, an actual TV show viewpoint of the story too. So it's actually really well done in that sense too. The more infected you become, because there are different stages, then the more infected you become, the more you start to change. Like we had the clickers, and we had the bloaters who completely get over bloated and overblown and everything. But then even different infected have, like, different kind of levels of, like, the kind of different like vines and flares and everything kind of growing over them. But then unless they get injured or attacked or killed or something, then you don't really kind of see them kind of going through, like, that much kind of decay or any kind of bodily loss or anything like that. But then for the most part, it's like, them actually feeling like them seeming more like in 28 Days Later, like in 28 Days Later, because, like, in that one, it wasn't so much zombies as it was the rage, the actual virus transmitted from the monkeys to the humans that turned them kind of animalistic and rageful and bloodthirsty and everything like that. Was not to do with being undead, but then actually just being sent into, like, an uncontrollable, mentally kind of driven kind of rage and everything. So it reminds me quite a bit of that. So again, just a really well done introduction that actually kind of covers all those kind of base points, and then actually allows you to start to ground you in the more kind of human and more kind of familial kind of aspects of the story too. So they do remind me a lot more of the because I think in the game they do still run. In the game, if they see you, they do definitely still run at you and everything. But I think in this one, they seemed a lot more like that. They reminded me like a lot more of the infected from World War Z. Like in that one, like I think in that one, I think one of the reasons that the infected in that movie are famous or are so infamous is because do is because of their movement style and everything, like the fact that they literally kind of clamber on top of each other to get you, like sometimes even actually kind of creating hills to climb over walls and stuff, but then they run at you with insane speed, and they are not afraid to pounce and everything. So with that one, the running is still in the game, but then I think the pouncing was actually made it that much more terrifying, because then in that scene in Texas 2 when Joel was running with Sarah, I think like he was like actually taking some time to pick up speed, but then in that time the infected like easily just kind of crashed through the door and started clambering and crashing into walls and booths and just making its way out across the restaurant and everything. So it was just like that movement was crazy. So I can't wait to see what the clickers are like, what the bloaters are like, what like just even if they have stalkers in this, if they're actually going to take any time to introduce stalkers in this, then I mean there's only so much they can cover, but I think they can very easily kind of face much more infected in season 1 compared to season 2. Because of that too, because I think season 2 it is far more about Ellie going on her own kind of one woman kind of rampage across like the WLF and the kind of scars and all that kind of stuff, but then still facing infected along the way. But with this one, it's actually wading through infected and other human threats to get Ellie to where she supposedly needs to be. So I'm very curious to see what the other infected are like. So they did change the actual kind of time positioning in this one too to actually kind of fit the modern world slightly a bit more, because I think in the game I think when the 20-year time jump forward happens, it's like they end up somewhere in the mid to late kind of 2030s and everything. So that would have been really far ahead and probably wouldn't have been as relatable or as kind of easy to catch up with. Maybe, I don't know, I don't think that they had their reasons and then they explained it, so there was that. But yeah, so this one takes place in 2003, so then when they jump forward it's 2023, which is now and everything. So that's great, that's ideal. When they reunited in the future, I think Joel pushed Tommy, and then Tommy said like we're not in Texas anymore, so you put your hands on me again, it will not end well for you. So I can't wait for that kind of a line in this. Actually hearing Gabriel in FEDRA like that, I can't wait for that. He's in Wyoming in this, but I think wasn't he in Jackson in the game? Well, I think didn't he set up his new kind of base with Maria in Jackson in the game or something? I can't remember, because I feel like he said Jackson. I feel like he said Jackson in the first game. This is why I should have I should have and could have played the game before leading up to this. But I think I'm pretty sure he said Jackson. Or it could have said Texas. I think either way for this one they're in Austin, Texas, which I think also kind of would slightly kind of explain them living near farms and their neighbors being kind of like farmers and everything. So that would be in the game. I think what they kind of executed really well from like a storytelling standpoint was actually bringing us into their world, like bringing us into Joel's world before it all collapsed and got ripped apart and everything, and then bringing us further into his world and actually kind of making us experience the world through his eyes and actually showing us like what happened. But with this one, again, I think not just it not being a video game, but I think it especially not being a video game and it kind of being driven solely by the people on the other end too, I think gives them ample opportunity to actually kind of add so much more kind of background and so much more time for us to get to know these characters too. And they did that. They did exactly that. Right before they took it all away, they actually gave Joel and Sarah and Tommy actually like a bit more of like an actual kind of humanity and a bit of background and a bit of time for us to get attached to them before they kind of tore everything apart again. So, and especially Sarah too. I think Sarah, the death still hits you hard in the game, knowing that. Like I think knowing she's just like she is just a teenage girl who's on the verge of losing everything and is terrified and everything, and then she gets killed and her dad loses her and everything. But with this one, it actually kind of shows her being friendly with her neighbours and going over to help and even going to school, and it emphasises the fact that she is just like a teenage girl in this world living with like a single or a widowed dad. I can't remember like what kind of mention there was regarding Sarah's mother in the game, but I think either way, living with a single dad and also with her uncle Tommy as well, who likely pitches in and helps out and stuff. And I think even in this one, they're their own little family unit and everything, and it's lovely and it's wholesome and it's sweet and it's great and everything. And then the world is like, nah, you can't have that. You could, but I didn't say you could have that, so you can't have it. So. Yeah, but again, I think that is also another thing that actually kind of really helps kind of reel new viewers in, actually showing them people who fall victim and suffer the consequences of like this kind of mass kind of like near extinction level event that kind of takes hold of humanity and takes hold of the world and everything. And So it just hurts and things, especially they covered like basically everything about it too, like it being Joel's birthday and Sarah giving him the watch too. So I can't remember. I think from the, because I think she did go to get it fixed. I think I do vaguely remember like her saying that like he never got around to getting it fixed, and then she got it fixed for him for his birthday and everything. But with this one I think it looked new. I don't know if it's just like the visuals from the game as I remember them, just like making it look older than it was or something. But this one it looks slightly newer, so I thought, oh, maybe she actually did get him like an actual new watch because his old one broke or something. So then, but no, then I think this one she actually took it to the repair shop and everything to get it fixed and everything. So it works so well to reel you in right before it kind of shows you the inevitable heartbreak that must happen. So yeah, so I think that kind of stuff makes me all the more curious to actually kind of see the reactions and to see the thoughts and to see the reviews from people who actually had no idea what the story was from the game and didn't know about any major plot points, and actually still kind of being able to actually react to this in like in that much more of like an actual blind kind of way and everything, or like a fresh kind of way rather. So yeah, it just felt really well done. Nico Parker as Sarah, she nailed it. She absolutely nailed it. She just like she is in episode 1 for like all of like 20 minutes, maybe 30 at a push, you know, for all of the whole kind of the Outbreak Day thing. And I think also the fact that I think like in the game, Outbreak Day only really covers that night. With this one, they actually admit like a day. Like they actually show Joel and Sarah waking up in the morning, having breakfast, going about their day, and then coming back home and all that kind of stuff. But in the game, it's only just that night. It's probably like based on your actual kind of play speed and everything. It's probably only like an hour's worth of, you know, gameplay or something. So in the game, it's just the night. But with this one, it's actually the entire day. So I think she gets that much more time to actually flesh out Sarah, to actually show her being Joel's daughter, being her own kind of like being like an actual good neighbor, like being a good neighbor, going to school, being a student and everything, actually kind of being her own kind of person and being like having her own kind of like her own background to some extent still, but enough to still make it heart-wrenching when you have to watch her get shot by that by the military soldier and everything. So you know, I think her coming in and stealing hearts that quickly, that effectively, that I'm hoping she actually felt kind of like I'm happy portraying this character and actually and felt satisfied kind of pulling the story off. And I think because it is such an integral part of the story, such an integral part of its history and everything. I'm pretty sure at some point in the game, Joel must have mentioned how he kind of feels like Ellie and Sarah actually would have made good friends in like another lifetime or in like an alternate universe or something. So yeah, actually going forward, actually watching them do the rest of the episodes in the same way they did this one, oh man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna fucking hurt and everything. So yeah, Nico Parker as Sarah just nailed it. I've never had any complaints to begin with, but I have, you know, just less than no complaints now going forward. She nailed it. I loved her as Sarah. I think she definitely fit in well. She definitely had really great and on point kind of chemistry with both Pedro and Gabriel as Joel and Tommy respectively, and she definitely fit the role. She did her part and really sold it and everything. So even the way they filmed her death scene was shot for shot on point. Like the way that like they both kind of tumble down the hill, and then Joel kind of scrambles over and tries to pick her up, but then she's still she's still so in pain from the gunshot, and he's like even calling her baby girl and everything. I just they went shot for shot and line for line on that, and I love them for it, and I actually hate them for it too. I love them for it, for actually going that far to recreate it, but it just like Pedro and Nico actually pulled that off, you know, so spectacularly, just actually pulling off that, the heartbreak of that scene and the emotion behind that scene too. And they actually showed the neighbours in this one too. I think I remember partly because of how intense they actually made it in the game too. I think the neighbours, the game only got a mention when the outbreak started, because then one of them came crashing through the sliding glass door, and then Joel, I think Joel came from the neighbour's house or something, because then he had actually had a gun on him and he'd been shooting and defending himself with it, and then he actually killed one of the neighbours and everything. So the old lady that lived with them too, I don't know exactly like I think don't know if the old lady was the mother of Mrs. Adler. I think the old lady's name was Connie, I think it was. She was the one. She was the one that I think in the end she got them both too. In the end she got them both, and she I think from the get-go, I think as soon as it actually showed like her twitching and like actually making open mouth movements and everything from behind Sarah, I think, oh god, it's her. It's gonna be her. She's infected. But I think, you know, maybe it was just like it being the early stages, maybe. or just her being one of the kind of the earliest hosts, maybe the fungi is kind of weaker that way, like having not infected like enough people as of yet, besides from a few in the city. But as soon as she started making those movements, I knew it was going to be her, and it was done for. And I just wanted Sarah to get out of there as quickly as she could. Not that it would change her fate, but then it still just didn't really kind of make me feel good about actually watching and having to stay in there longer or anything. But then when on Outbreak night, when she goes back in there and she sees the blood, and then she sees Mr. Adler with like a chunk taken out of his neck, and then she sees behind the counter Connie with her mouth over presumably her own daughter's kind of head or neck or whatever it was. But then the position she's in and that speed, like the way she just slowly looks at, like as soon as she hears movement from Sarah, she just slowly lifts her head up, and there's like she has like a mouthful of hair or something, or like hair or tendrils or whatever the fuck it was. Just that whole scene was just wow. And then Chernobyl being a real thing, kind of documenting illness, I've no idea like exactly how the horror or the tension or the kind of drama in that aspect is kind of being portrayed. But with this one, having already played the game, but then also knowing that it's like an actual kind of post-apocalyptic kind of thing involving infected people who spread the infection in a zombified sense, it feels like so much more cinematic in that sense too. So it's it's on a whole other level. Even having played the game, you still feel that level of fear and tension watching characters that you still can't control, having to react to that kind of a threat and everything, and just having to maneuver it and traverse it and everything. It's just the whole thing. It's a whole freaking thing. So the kind of the news aspects of it too, like every time they turn on the TV, like even when Sarah went to the actual kind of the repair shop, and then the repair shop owner's wife came in and actually said, okay, no, he can't fix his watch anymore, he can't fix something after this, we're leaving now, and you should do the same, you should go home, pack up and leave and everything. But then the news and actually spreading from person to person, just like the infection, about the infection actually spreading and everything, I think that definitely added layers more realism about people finding out about this, about the news actually reporting on this and making this like an actual emergency thing. I think and actually building that up until Sarah wakes up hours later at like 2:15 in the morning and turns on the TV and then finds out that the whole emergency of kind of a screen thing has been activated, and actually finding out that like, oh, the world's actually going to shit and everything. So that build up of the news reveal and the news kind of actually connecting people that way to what's happening and actually making sure that everyone's in the know added so much more depth to this than the game actually opened up with. So I think that kind of stuff actually I feel like that kind of stuff can easily make this like a much better built up version of the story that provides so many more kind of different things for you to notice that actually kind of help with world building. Now we are in the present day. I think I don't know if it's just me that that feels weird to say 2023 and present day in the same sentence. Like I think because I don't know, it just feels like because like with how the game kind of went to like having the game having the majority and then the main parts of the game being set in the future in the 2030s and everything. And I think to be fair, no matter what way we go, that's really only 10 years from now as well. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing there too. But so having this kind of set in 2023 does make it all the more kind of surreal to kind of think about too. Like it's no longer the future, it's the present day now. So I think they've moved to Boston, and Boston is a quarantine city under federal control with some Firefly kind of interference kind of being run through there by Marlene as well. So I'm pretty sure that kid who came in with the red light for the infection thing, it felt like it might say negative, because then maybe positive, I don't know if maybe positive would be green and then negative would be red maybe, but then, because then I think that's just kind of applying kind of that connotation more to the words, more to the words than the actual results. So then maybe positive would go up as red, like, oh, it's positive, so you need to approach this with caution, but then it's negative, oh, don't worry, it's fine, just go green light, go, it's all good. So the red light means positive, you're positive for the Cordyceps fungus. And I think those guards actually knew that oh shit, they're infected. So then they actually, I think maybe they injected them with like an actual sedative to make it kind of easier or something. So that's still horrifying to think about, actually putting a child, putting it inducing a coma onto a child before you burn its fucking body. you know, because it's infected. So that's what they do to the infected. They either kill them or they knock them out, and then they just burn their bodies in like a heap. And then Joel is there too. I think Joel. I think it's interesting. They actually kind of gave Joel like somewhat of like an actual kind of double life in this one. I think they actually made him a smuggler and someone who actually does odd jobs in Boston. Like he does the body burning. I think he even asked what else they have on offer too. So there's like the one cleaning up shit pays more, but then there's the other one that pays less and everything. So he actually he officially does odd jobs, but then on the side he does kind of smuggle stuff, even some drugs for the actual FEDRA officers and everything, or at least just the one of them at least. So there's that. And I did see earlier today. So someone on Twitter pointed out that Joel was actually carrying on Sarah's work. Like I think because they included Sarah's line of like oh drugs, that's all hardcore drugs. That's how I paid for the watch. So now Joel's carrying on her legacy and selling hardcore drugs to FEDRA officers too. So that's a really neat tie-in. Stuff that helps them sleep at night after doing all the stuff that they do during the day, like actually shooting people, killing people, capturing them and rounding them up and doing all the stuff they do. Like this stuff helps them sleep at night too. So he gives them that and everything. So it's not like he's doing this for fun, but then like it helps him earn like a bit more kind of post-apocalyptic kind of money, but then also kind of like helps him kind of get going and get by and stuff, and he's actually doing it in like a way that kind of somewhat helps them. So just that little kind of tidbit I kind of still managed to appreciate. So, and we met Tess too. We met Tess Anator playing Tess. Oh, so good to see her in this. I mean, she's been in better shape, but you know, I think she did kind of run into Robert's guys. I think in the game they give you the option to actually slaughter half of Robert's dudes and then actually catch up to him yourself. But in this one, she also ended up actually getting captured by his guys and then being interrogated and stuff. So there was that. I'm pretty sure. I think Robert actually died in the end with a gunshot to the face and everything. So he might have been supposed to sell it to them, but then maybe he took their money or something, and then he actually sold it to Marlene instead, because then Marlene needed the car battery for their truck to actually get Ellie to the lab out west and everything. Two different clients on both ends. I think maybe like Marlene being the leader of the Fireflies, maybe she actually did offer more as well. And I think her kind of her mission being as important as it is, she definitely probably would have even been willing to offer more and everything. So that's in that way he is. But then Robert, being the greedy little shit he is, he still takes Joel and Tess's money, but then still sells the battery to Marlene. So we had that, and then speaking of character chemistry too, I think Joel and Tess get along so great. I feel like they might be going slightly further to actually kind of confirm their actual pairing and their pairing as an actual romantic couple in this and then in the game. I think in the game they definitely had like an actual strong kind of partnership going for them, but I feel like in the game like actual romance between them was slightly more kind of hinted at and up to kind of also slightly more kind of up to play interpretation. But with this one, it does definitely feel like they actually have like an actual history together, and their time together has resulted in them actually being closer than you'd expect, or closer than any other two kind of would, and being in their line of work too. They've grown to trust each other and learn from each other, and even Joel being her guy too. Even Robert saying if your guy finds out that this happened, then he won't be too happy. Tess assuring him don't worry, I'll make sure, I give you my word, my guy won't hurt you. So Joel, and then as soon as Joel finds out, he's already halfway up out of his seat, actually ready to cave someone's skull in. So yeah, probably not the best choice of words. Them already having that reputation going for them kind of goes to show. And then of course Anna and Pedro's kind of chemistry together translates so well from script to screen, and it feels just like how they were in the game and everything. So actually being able to watch that kind of unfold for like that kind of last kind of half hour, well, we all know what's going to happen to Tess too, so I'm not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to yet another fucking death on this show's watch, but you know what? I will savor and cherish every moment leading up to it, just like I did with Sarah. So that is my only plan right now, just to put on a brave face and pretend everything's okay. So Marlene, yeah, so she's the leader of the she's the leader of the Fireflies and everything. I'm pretty sure she's the leader of the Fireflies, because I think already being on screen, like the amount of control she has over the other Fireflies, and like how much control she has, and like how powerful her presence is as soon as she walks on screen, that is definitely the Marlene the Marlene I can remember from the game, and I think she definitely kind of like oozes leadership material and everything. So the fact that like she knows how important this mission is, she knows exactly what's going on. She even knows the realism and the gravity of the Firefly situation. The fact that they've been going on as a rebellion for this long and they're still fucking losing. They're still losing to FEDRA. They're still losing their control, and they still have to kind of keep saying their mantra to whoever will listen and everything. So she's a fighter and a survivalist, but then she's also like a realist, and she's like, this is not going the way that we want at all. No matter how much optimism you try and come up with, it's just not going the way we want. So we have to approach it from a different angle and get things done and stuff. So Mel Dandridge as well, actually bringing back the actress who actually played her in the game too. I don't know if she was just the body model or if she was actually the voice actress too, but either way it's great. She already is once again Marlene for the show as she was for the game, and she's nailing it so far too. So the game definitely kind of portrayed her to be someone who definitely doesn't like what she has to do, but then she knows the stakes, that she knows what's at stake. She knows the cost of actually risking everything for fewer lives. I think her mindset was a very, very kind of painful iteration of like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Melanie Linsky is also meant to be in this. I'm wondering if she's going to be a Firefly, or maybe if she's going to be someone that like communicates with and actually works with Marlene. So if that's the case, then maybe like both of them together could be like a really great thing to see, and actually giving Marlene actually more to do in this. That kind of really kind of helps to maybe even make her death all the more tragic towards the end too. So chemistry in her first scene with Ellie kind of really kind of shone through too, like her actually kind of understanding Ellie, and her kind of like not being afraid to help her out, and actually kind of like easing her into the situation. And I'm willing to bet what she told Ellie was that she's immune, that like she knows about the bite that Ellie has, and she also knows it's actually a few weeks old at this point, and she still hasn't turned, and then being like, I bet you're wondering why that is, what's wrong with you, what's wrong with the bite, and then her being like, well, you're immune. So willing to bet that's what it is. But then in classic kind of TV tension kind of fashion and everything, of course we probably won't find that out until much later on. So then, or at least until next episode, because then of course the episode literally ended with her like scan testing coming out as positive for the Cordyceps fungus, but then her actually showing the bite to Tess kind of then changes the stakes a little bit too. So then next episode, when they ask her to actually explain what the hell's going on, then she might have to say like, oh well, Marlene told me I was actually immune to all this kind of stuff going on. So I'm kind of hoping we can slightly see more of the Fireflies outside of Joel and Ellie's perspective, like all the things they've done to get where they are, and all the things that they've actually had to do. As far as I've kind of come to understand them, I feel like that they are kind of freedom fighters and everything. Because I think Marlene did mention actually fighting to restore kind of democracy and order and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if it's because they disagree with the way that the government handled the outbreak, or they disagree with like how people were treated during the outbreak, or something, or maybe if they feel like a cure wasn't looked for efficiently enough or fast enough or whatever. So now they finally have a cure, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure the Fireflies are the one to restore order and restore stuff to the world, but by delivering the cure to the lab and distributing it and everything. So they want to be the hope that people can look towards, and they want to be the ones who actually bring the world back up and actually help build it back up and everything. So then that way they can maybe kind of prove or show people that they're more trustworthy and more kind of reliable than any kind of world governments or anything, and especially now that world governments are gone and FEDRA are pretty much one of the few things one of the few kind of authoritative and bureaucratic kind of things left standing. They want to prove that they're even better than them too. So then they want to kind of face up against that too. And I think especially like FEDRA doing what they do to actually rounding people up and testing them and then killing them and then just doing whatever they can or whatever they believe is right too. But then the Fireflies maybe actually believe that there is actually still a way, and they found it with Ellie. So then they have to actually fight even harder to deliver her. to the other lab and everything. So I'm hoping that kind of stuff will be a bit more kind of fleshed out in this too, and actually showing the Fireflies for what they are and what they're trying to do. But then be that in like an actual protagonistic or antagonistic kind of light. I think we'll kind of add more layers to their corner at the Last of Us kind of universe and story and everything. So I guess we'll see. Needless to say, from the get-go, Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie were castings I was 100% on board for, because I think instantly, I think Bella Ramsey, I thought the name sounded familiar, but then as soon as I saw a picture of her, I was like, oh shit, Lyanna Mormont from Game of Thrones. She was a fucking badass in that. So that is exactly what we needed. Like an American version of that is exactly what we needed for Ellie. So far, I'm so much more on board than I ever was before. I didn't even think that was possible, but I am so on board for this. I think she fits Ellie to a T, and, you know, sure, she doesn't look exactly like her, but then still, like, she is Ellie. She very much is still Ellie, the same way that Pedro is fitting Joel to a T and everything. You know, but Ellie, I think she's already nailing that kind of like sheltered and kind of inside her shell, kind of sassy, really kind of back chatty kind of teenager that's kind of turned her back on the world, and now she kind of like is kind of trusting very few people after everything she's been through and everything, and like not being under full awareness of everything that's going on, but still kind of relying on her instincts and actually and relying on her own kind of gut feelings and everything. And I think as soon as she opens the door to try and attack Joel, and Joel kind of clocking her immediately and just kind of bodying her against the wall. That being their introduction is honestly kind of sweet. It's essentially kind of sweet, because like to think that that's the introduction, and then him actually having like an actual kind of iron kind of foot grip against her switchblade on the floor too, actually stopping her from getting it, then even sliding across the floor too. Like their introduction was already so quintessential early stages kind of Joel and Ellie. So to watch them go from that is going to be the sweetest and also kind of most bittersweetest of journeys to watch and everything. So they already fit their individual kind of characters to a T, but then actually watching that relationship blossom through those kind of characters is going to be great. So just already they are so quintessential Joel and Ellie, and they kind of are able to portray those personalities and those characters so fluidly and so naturally and so kind of in ways you recognize, but also just in ways that you love, in ways that actually kind of makes you appreciate the value behind those characters, and actually makes you appreciate the kind of comedic value and the human value behind those characters more than anything else, which I think is one of the reasons that the game kind of works so well too. Actually creating human characters and making you fall in love with them, and making you kind of laugh at them and laugh with them and actually care for them and kind of fear for them and everything. So to watch how this kind of like how this season actually makes you experience all those kind of highs and lows and all those kind of emotional kind of highs and pitfalls and everything is going to be one wacky journey to watch. So I think already from the get, but I think them being able to nail it from the get go so well and so fluidly and so realistically, it is just like such a great thing to actually see for like from an adaptation standpoint as well. So I have faith, I have love, I have just everything. I'm all in for this. I'm all in. I'm more than happy to tune in every week to actually see where else this show takes us and everything. Nothing but fun and also occasional danger and heartache. So I'm here for it. I am here for it. Based on his history with Tess that he already has, the one thing he's already got kind of locked and loaded is his protection. He probably is already protective. As in he already has he already has a reputation from Robert of actually kind of being that guy, of being Tess's guy. Like if you mess with Tess, if you double cross her, if you hurt her, Joel will come and deliver tenfold on you. So then him already having that reputation, he's already used to protecting Tess, but now he has to actively protect her and Ellie now. But then Ellie will see that. Ellie will then probably kind of see that as him going that far to protect the ones he cares about, and then be like, oh, so then it lays like an interesting kind of foundation for him to do more of that for her, and then through that, but then also through other things too, like for him to actually end up caring about her more than he realizes, and for her to kind of go from being cargo to family and to being a daughter to him and everything. So it's an interesting thing to actually see it all start from that. So what she sees with Joel is pure aggression and violence and anger and the need to, protect the people around you and everything. So then her seeing that for the first time, I think that's probably going to be changing her really kind of quickly going forward too. So just seeing firsthand the kind of man Joel is and how far he's willing to go and how how the years have changed him and everything from all those years ago. It's just going to be like a really kind of heart kind of pounding and heart kind of changing kind of journey to watch and everything. So Marlene, I think I can't remember exactly how Left Behind started with her being, I think wasn't she with the Fireflies in Left Behind, or was she with FEDRA? I think they mentioned FEDRA school in this. I think her being in federal custody in this was also like Marlene's decision to like maybe a way of actually putting her where she knows that she is and everything. So maybe that was the case. But then now to taking her out of that and actually kind of taking her back in to Firefly custody because of what she needs to do with her and where she knows that Ellie needs to be. I have a stronger feeling that she was actually with the Fireflies in Left Behind rather than FEDRA. So I don't know if I have a feeling that they actually changed it for the show to make it FEDRA. So I can't be entirely sure. I have a feeling it was the Fireflies, but I could be wrong. But I mean, we have a Left Behind episode coming up too, so hopefully they adapt that accurately enough too. So I don't know, but as a child, maybe then Ellie's life wouldn't be in so much danger. But then now that she's a teenager, and now that maybe like the actual kind of the tumor in her head has actually kind of evolved enough to actually become like an actual viable cure. So maybe then because of that, she's now ready to be taken to the Fireflies. But I mean, if that is the case, then that is also slightly fucked up. That she's actually putting her in a slightly more dangerous place until she's of age and until the tumor in her head is actually kind of ready to be extracted, which will kill her and everything. That's slightly more fucked up, but I don't know. Either way, I guess we'll see. And yeah, the radio code too. She cracked the Bill and Frank's radio code. Like the 60s music meant that nothing was in. 70s meant that there was new stock, but then 80s had like a big red X next to it. So then apparently that based on Joel's reaction to hearing that, I think she deduced that meant trouble. So she's sneaky. She is sneaky, and she's deductive, I guess. I think kind of deductive, but she's sneaky, and I fucking love her for it. She's sneaky, and that kind of sneakiness, I think, is exactly one of the reasons I actually love her. Like her snark and her sneakiness and her sass, just everything about that and everything about her just is amazing. So again, Bella played that perfectly. Bella played that absolutely perfectly. So and even Joel actually acting with sincerity, falling for her question and everything was just really great. So yeah, but I think then in the end trouble really did come, because I think the song that she used as a fake out was Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham, which is a 1984 song, but then in the end an 80s song still played, which was Never Let Me Down by Depeche Mode, which I googled it, and it came out in 1987, so that was still an 80s song, so that still means trouble. So then in a way she was right, but just she basically just like spoke too soon, or like she like Apollo's gift of prophecy or whatever. So because I think on the one hand we do also get like an actual prequel episode that shows Bill and Frank together and actually gives them like an actual viable kind of amount of screen time and an actual proper backstory compared to the games. But then I wonder if that's going to be meshed together with Joel and Ellie meeting him, or if that's going to be like an entirely different episode. I would not be opposed to an entire episode being used to cover that kind of story with Bill and Frank, because I feel like after how little we actually got in the game for it, that would be very, very much kind of necessary to actually kind of explore their relationship properly and explore their history and their partnership and exactly what led to Frank's kind of eventual suicide and everything. So seeing Nick Offerman and Bella Ramsey having a fucking sass off with each other, that is just going to be a fucking highlight for an entire episode, and then Joel just kind of being stuck in the middle and trying to de-escalate the tension between them. That is going to be hilarious to watch. So God, so much in the season I'm looking forward to. So much in the season I'm actually looking forward to. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. The cinematography of this first episode alone was actually really well done. It was so well done. I think the actual POV shots, like for like the outbreak kind of POV shots, like from inside the car as the camera turns to kind of survey both kind of ends and both kind of angles of the car too, like from Joel and Tommy's angle and then Sarah's angle, and even showing the plane crash. That was unexpected because I'm pretty sure we didn't have a plane crash in the game. Pretty sure I think it was like a, because then they had a jeep, they had like a jeep or a truck or something almost crash into them, but then it slowed down. So I was like, oh, maybe they're like that's the way it was gonna happen in the game. So it must happen the same way here. But then I thought, oh, maybe like it's gonna be another one. But then no, like an actual plane comes crashing down out the sky. I think not only that, but then even before that, they did show like 2 or 3 other planes that were on fire and kind of going kind of awry and flying and wreaking havoc and everything, flying through the sky because they had infected on board too. But then one plane actually comes crashing down and just a huge explosion, like just shrapnel and everything comes flying out and hits people and even hits the car and everything. So a plane crash is what causes them to crash and everything. So that is really well done. I think that also speaks volumes for the actual show's budget, that they can actually kind of actually make a realistic looking plane crash that causes them to crash too. So that was really well done. But overall, the camera work on this was just so good. I think especially like them emphasizing like just how tense and just how hectic like the whole situation is, like especially the kind of shaky camera-ness for the actual outbreak and everything is so accurate and so well done and so on point and everything, and like the kind of POV shots for each individual character in different scenes is really well done as well. Like the camera work, the editing, the pacing is all for this one introductory episode. Everything they did was on point. Like it works so well as a story. It's so kind of easy to consume. It's so easy to keep up with, and it's so easy to actually watch and everything. Like it's so nice to watch visually, but then it's so easy to watch. Like I think there's nothing that's really kind of hard to look at or anything that you can't really see. And even the ending shot, like of them being at night, like even actually being lit up by the actual thunderstorm itself, was still really kind of really cool and really lovely to look at. So just everything about this episode, just wow. Just these guys have worked like so hard to make this like what it is and to make it as good as it is and everything. So I can't wait to rewatch this and then to actually kind of see what else they have in store for us. So just shows you almost being in that same situation with them when the camera shakes or when kind of the environment actually looks really kind of like really kind of different to be in and everything. It just works so well. It works so damn well. So I'm so glad we got this, and I'm so glad we actually got this to the quality that it's actually in. So I'm just so happy that this is a thing. So for now, that's pretty much everything I can really kind of think of and everything. Of course, if I missed out on anything, then do let me know in the comments. And of course, first and foremost, actually leave your own thoughts in the comments and let me know what you thought of this and how you felt about this and how much you're looking forward to the rest of the season. Any kind of details you caught out that I missed out on, and any kind of thoughts you have on this open and how you felt about it and how you feel about the story going forward and all that kind of good stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, absolutely. So, yeah, that is it from me. So that was The Last of Us Season 1, Episode number 1. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what you're looking forward to in the coming episodes of this season. For those interested, the full-length reaction will absolutely be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there too. And yeah, that is it from me. So until next time, bye bye for now.